It was the 60s, so I wanted to be an astronaut, for sure, or to make robots. That was the big thing I wanted to do, was to make robots. And my first foray into that was with cardboard boxes, and I had a head and a body and legs, and the back was wide open, but I was convinced I was a robot, and my parents were convinced I was a robot. So that was it. That was my whole vocational science. I wanted to be a scientist. I don't know that I gave it a lot of thought about what I was going to be when I grow up. I can look back on times when I saw things that happened and I thought, yeah, I'd like to do something like that. And thinking about the thing that stands out in my mind tends to rotate around my dad and things that he would do. I thought, I want to be like that, which is kind of natural. But even in the roles that he would take on, I could see myself, I'd like to do that someday. I was in a band, insert joke here. Okay, so I was in band, and in high school, we would go to the elementary schools. My dad was a school principal, and we went to his school. And I remember hearing other kids being kind of embarrassed if their parents were in the room, right? And I just wasn't. My dad got up to the front, welcomed the kids to the auditorium, and there was a command and a presence. Then I thought, that's my dad, and I would like to be like that. Throughout high school, I think I heard from others what they thought I should be, more than I thought about what I should be, but it fit. They thought I was a leader, that I would be good as a pastor, those kinds of things. And I liked the idea of that. Who doesn't want to be a leader? So when I went to college, I did not have a clear idea what I wanted to be. I wanted to help people. I thought it would be in science, so maybe a dentist or a doctor. That seemed like a good idea. It seemed like I was capable of that. But I learned pretty quickly that wasn't going to probably happen.
Mm-hmm. So how did you learn that?
It took work. My first class in zoology, I think it was zoology, school always had come easy for me, right? You've heard that, and I never studied in high school, rarely, and college was a shock. And so I took that first zoology course. I was pretty excited, but I didn't want to show up for labs. I wanted to play foosball. And I just ended up dropping the class after about 8 weeks and decided I wasn't going to become a doctor or a dentist at that point. So I was really passionate about it. I was really passionate about becoming those things, so much that I didn't care to work for it. So from that point, I had no idea. I just started trying things, taking classes, trying not to get my GPA too low. I had a chapel experience where it seemed like there was clarity, things coming together. I wanted to help people. I knew the church. That was my language. There was some part of me that enjoyed, to be honest, kind of having that authoritative position of being able to direct people or to help instruct. I like that. Sophomore year, I would pinpoint it as, okay, I got to take this Jesus thing a little bit more seriously. I probably need to take my life a little bit more seriously. And that all came together that first semester, and I had no doubt that I was being called into full-time pastoral ministry, which was great, because then that determined everything else I had to do from that point. But clearly, I think I was built for that. I think I was equipped for that. And it made sense to me. It was the right move for that part of my life. Work related to my profession didn't probably happen until my second semester. And we would go on an internship. They'd place us in a church, and we would live there for 8 weeks. So that's really where I got my first taste. I also did some recruiting for the college my junior and senior year, so that would almost always put me up front in a church setting where I was talking to people and telling them about the university and those kinds of things. So I'm sure that fed into it and helped shape the persona and my voice. But I went right into grad school after college because I was waiting for my wife to graduate. And we got a call to be a youth pastor. Someone told them they thought I'd be a great youth pastor. Okay, I like youth, and I want to be a pastor. So that's what we did. We picked up, moved, and got into staff work from there for 20 years. Mm-hmm. Being with students, I loved that, and being as weird as they were, that was fun. I liked that. I love the mentoring part of it. That felt great. Being up front and teaching, I didn't like the prep. That would stress me out. But once I finally got up and could teach in a public format, I really enjoyed that. And those do seem like things that I have some innate ability for. The dean of the School of Ed happened. She knew my family, and she came and listened to me preach, teach on a couple occasions. And every time afterwards, she would come up to me. I really didn't know her that well, but she would come up and she'd say, "Have you ever thought about working with college students?" I'm like, "Yeah, I like college. That's who I always work with in this church setting." And she said a very nice thing. I mean, "Well, you're really good at teaching. I think you'd be great." And that feels awesome. There's that part of you that goes, "Well, she's got to say that, right?" I mean, she knows my parents. She's being nice. But it felt great. And she did that several times. That was years past. And she called me. We were living in Indianapolis. She called and she said, I have an adjunct prof that dropped out. We start classes this week. It's educational psychology. You have a background in psychology. Can you do it?" Well, I also don't like saying no, right? So I said, yeah, sure, I'll do it. That happened at the same time where I was at the end of my rope, ministerially speaking. So teaching this adjunct course was like vacation. So I could get off my church campus and come to this campus. It was great. I mean, I was scared to death, and I was terrible. I have no doubt I was terrible. I was 2 pages ahead of the students on a regular basis, right? As long as I know what's coming next, I can teach. But about after 2 semesters, I was like, I can't imagine doing anything else. I can't believe people get paid to. I know it sounds cliche, but I can't believe people get paid to do this. And the dean said, if you want to do it, you're going to have to go back and get your doctorate. So that started that process. I mean, I went to get my doctorate not because I wanted a PhD. I just wanted to work at the college level, and it was the price I was going to have to pay. Grateful for the knowledge I gained. If I could have done it without the PhD, absolutely. Got the PhD, a position came open, interviewed, and got my dream job, right? I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was like, yeah, this is the perfect fit. Here's the words I use when I tell people. This is the perfect expression of all my parts coming together, and my created purpose is being fulfilled in this role, in this task, in this vocation. There's nothing more rewarding for me than feeling like you've come alongside a kid, a student, and not that you've been the whole influence, that's just naive, but to be able to speak into their lives, see them contemplating that, doing something with it, whether they accept it or not. But being able to walk with them long enough to see them hit the trail and to walk the trail that they want to walk and hit. That, I got goosebumps now. I mean, I could do that for the rest of my life. I mean, everything else could go. If I can do that, I would be content.